Bringing the feet together. The palms on the top of the knee. Big knee circles. Changing directions. One more. All right. Decent space between the feet. We're going to sink down. Back is straight. Grabbing the ground with the foot. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Up and back. Grab with the other foot. Pull, pull, pull. Dynamic tension. And back. Like you're trying to free the heel and swing it back. Grab, other foot. 1, 2, 3. Good. 4. As we play with this, try not to let the body rock. If I lift and drop, it's not quite the point we're working on here, is stabilizing. Our foot's getting caught for a sweep, and then right back down. You notice there's not much shoulder shift. And let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Good, shake that out. Now again, similarly wide stance, slight step to the side, raising the foot. Okay, try it together. Step, raise. Good, other side, raise. 1, 2, 4, 5. 14, 15, 17, 18. One more. Good. From here, again, nice wide stance. Turn to the side, drawing the umbilicus towards the spine, rounding the chest, raising that head neck. As the arms swing back, I'm going to pull my heel out of the ground and back. Okay, so again, it's not a great big kick. It's just using that concavity in the belly, sweep and back. Good. Straight leg, moving from the hip, jackknifing and back. One more nice and slow together. Each of you try 2 while I watch. Good. For Chris and Karen, try to maintain that concavity as you kick. Notice again, the body doesn't shift much. My weight's all here, drawn into that circle. The foot comes up and right back, okay? Good. Good, Chris. Good, Ian and Caro. Very nice, Karen. Okay. Do 10 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Change sides. Again, take a moment, play with that structure, rounded chest, umbilicus to spine, head, neck raise, and a couple nice and slow to play with the mechanics of this movement. Drawing from the hip, jackknife and back, jackknifing the body and back. 2 more nice and easy. Good, Ian, a little more curvature in the front, okay? Yeah, very nice, Caro. Good, Eric, Karen, and Chris. Okay, 10 on this side. Set the body and 1, 2, 3. Notice how I reset each time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. 10. Good. Shake that out. Okay, what we're going to do next is a series of low stance exercises. They can be a little challenging. So if your knees need a break, or if you don't want to go as low as I do, that is entirely okay. All right? Make sure you can get the full view of my feet. Okay. So, yeah. Apologies, first time teaching in this room. right. So for the first one, we're going to take the leg on this side. It's going to move around in an outside crescent and step behind, okay? From here, maintain that umbilical draw and that head neck lift. I'm going to sink into that hip as far as I can while maintaining posture. If it's only this far, that's fine. If you can make it all the way to the ground, that's great too. As I raise back up, the heel of this back foot's going to come down. As it presses, the leg comes around, behind, and once again, maintaining posture. As I sink into that hip, turning the direction that I want to go, come behind, and sinking again. So let's do 4, nice and slow, okay? And then 6 with some more oomph if we feel like it. So with the leg back, belly drawn in, twisting in the side, we're gonna kick. Pulling to that side as I come up, foot comes around, step behind, find posture. 1. Step behind. 2. Foot raises. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Shake out wherever you need to. 8. 9. And lastly, twisting, 10. Good. Any questions on those before we go into set 2?
I don't feel like I have very good leg kick range of motion on that, but like maybe with, like sometimes at the end of one of these classes I do. So I feel like I should come back to that later.
We're going to do some T-tway or hip opening kick exercises later on in the class today, okay? So I'll ramp up the range of motion mobility.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course, as you're starting off, kicking high isn't the goal. The goal is just, as I sink down, I don't want to be doing something like this, where all the pressure's on my knees. I want to make sure I have that straight line dropping into the ground. The pressure's in my hips, not my knees. As I raise up, it's a head neck lift. So the knees are still protected, and that's what carries that foot around to the other side.
So what would a lower, like smaller range of motion kick look like there? Like more sweep?
So I'm here, as I come up, just arc and step.
That's still a pretty good range of motion.
A lower range of motion kick, step around the foot and behind.
All right, cool.
And that's the base coordination. From there, once the balance feels stable, then you can add in more oomph, more raise of the leg. Everything kind of naturally grows out of that. But just kind of play through the blocking, and everything else develops from there.
Thanks.
Of course. Any other questions? Okay, the coordination on this next one is the most challenging part. So we're going to do the first movement a few times nice and slow, okay? And at the end of this, if you're still confused, please let me know. We'll go back and readdress it, okay? So watching me first, the full movement, what we're going to work towards, is a step, step, sink, twisting behind, draw, step, 1, 2, draw, step. There's a bit happening here. We're going to start with just the drawing of the leg out. Okay, so watch me first. From the side view, this basic exercise is going to be step in front, step behind and up, raise the foot in a figure 4, turn and pull the heel of the foot out. Facing towards the camera, I step in front, I step up, I raise, the front foot in a figure 4, I swivel that hip and draw the foot, okay? So let's practice just that 10 times, all right? So once again, front leg steps up, back leg comes to on a line. Front leg, figure 4, swivel, draw. That's 1. Step up, step to line, figure 4, turn and draw. 2. Step up, step to line, front leg figure 4, swivel the hips, draw the foot. 3. Step up, behind, figure 4, turn, draw. 4. up, on line, figure 4, turn, draw 5. Up, line, 4, turn and draw for 6. Step up, on line, figure 4, turn and draw for 7. Step up on the same line, figure 4, turn, draw for 8.
Should we be on the ball of our toe, of our foot, or heel?
We are on the ball of the foot. Sorry, they try to get the whole body in the view of the camera. We're going to the ball of the foot as we draw around. Okay, let's do 2 more together. Up, on line, figure 4, turning on the ball of the foot, draw and step. Last one together. Up, on line, figure 4. My knees point towards the camera. I turn to the heels point towards the camera and draw. So the functionality of this movement is I'm wrestling with somebody in ShuiJiao, right? They get my front leg, they're going to throw me. I don't want to get thrown. I pull the foot up and over, and that gives me the space to escape, okay? The low stance part is just an awesome strength building exercise that we're tossing in because we can, all right? So again, together nice and slow, 2 more times. I cross my body. I step up on a line. I raise that front foot, the knee is facing towards the camera. As I turn, the heel is facing towards the camera. Draw the foot out. Good. Front foot steps up. Back foot's on the line. Front foot, knee is facing towards that camera. I free that leg, draw the leg out, and step. Let me see all of you give that a try a couple of times. Good, Chris, let the leg actually rest on the support leg, so you get that swivel. Much better, Chris. Again, keeping that figure 4 as you turn to then draw. Better, better. Watch me, Chris. As I step up, my knee faces towards you. I pull my knee away from you. You can't have my knee. And then I draw my foot out, okay? I'm after your knees, I'm after all of your knees. Very nice, Karen, very nice. As you draw back, the weight travels with that foot. That back weightedness allows you to reset. The weight comes forward. Swivel, back weight allows you to reset. And on we go, okay? Let's take a look, Eric. Very nice, Eric. Very good. And Caro. Caro's got it. Ian's got it. Karen's doing great. Chris has got it. Okay. So now we're going to add in our level drop. But before we do, are there any questions about the setup? Awesome. You've all done really well. This is a tricksy one. So again, same rule as the last kicking exercise. The most important thing is not to hurt ourselves. And so if the knees are back, feel like I've had enough, the first thing you want to do is raise your stance. If that's not enough to make it entirely painless, take a break. We want the muscles to be sore, but we never want the joints to be in pain as we train, okay? So going together, in my basic stance, I'm going to cross my line. I'm going to step behind, okay? Now, as I twist, instead of going into a figure 4, I'm going to sink to the ground. Now, as I twist, the figure 4 pulls out of that as I draw and reset, cross the center line, 1, step behind, 2, sinking and twisting, 3, draw the knee, 4, stepping is 5. Okay, again, 1, 2, sink on 3, draw and step, and around. Okay, let's do 8 more of those. Step behind and twist, 3, 4, 5, shake it out if you need to. 6, 7, 8, 9. One more for the gods. Awesome. Shake that out, everyone. Any questions so far? Nice work, all of you. Those aren't easy. Okay. Shake the legs out. We have one more in this set.
I'm landing with the front foot on the ball of the foot. Is that what we want, or do we want it more grip flat?
The ball of the foot comes first, and then immediately it gives your body kind of some springiness as you sink back down. Once you get really comfy with this, watch me for a second. I have my sink. I never raise up. I'm always in that low stance side to side, okay? And so the ball strikes first, but it immediately draws in, and all the joints of the leg work as a spring as you go into that next step. Does that help?
We're more straight in the front leg as we sink back?
Right. So it's sinking into that back leg, and that springs you to come right back up and in, right? You're drawing that leg to freedom. You're back weighted. 1, 2, we're now centered. Back weighted again. Okay?
Okay, something to work towards.
Awesome, awesome. All right, lastly here. Feet to even, that shoulder width stance, belly to spine, head, neck raising. As I turn, I want no part of this ballistic. All to be controlled, pushing into the ground as I sink into it. Turning 180, shoulders pulling. As I raise back up, nice and even. Belly to spine, even rate of sink. Back around, head, neck initiate. Back to center, okay? And twisting, sinking for 3. Raising that head, neck. Don't skip any part of the movement. Even pressure, constantly pushing into the ground to protect your knees. Pushing as I sink. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. Even raise. Even sink. 9. Last one. And back to the front. Okay. Any questions on those? Again, so long as you're pushing the ground all the way through and not accelerating, your whole body should adjust. You should evenly kind of wrap around the musculature of the leg, create an even press to an even rise. All right? So next up, let's get those arms a little more loose. Classic Pao Chui arm exercise. Touch the shoulder. Roll the arm in front. Flick the hand palm up. Arcing down. Touch the shoulder. Roll to flick. Good. Roll to tap. Roll to flick. Roll shoulder. Roll, extend. 1, 2, 3. Reach as you extend, draw back as you tap. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going. 8, 9. One more weight in the arm, Ian, as you flick. Last one. 10. And now, other arm. Shoulder. Roll. Reach. Roll. Shoulder. Reach. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Jane. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. 10. Excuse me one quick second. Come here, Jane. Can I say hi? Can I say hi to everybody? Okay.
No, we do not.
He gave me the ball.
Baby Jane!
Come here, say hi. That's a good hi.
Nice to meet you.
Jane!
The weest of havers. Okay. Now, both hands, starting nice and slow. Both hands roll. One taps, one flicks. Both roll, flick. Good. Rolling to the side, drop. Rolling to the side, drop. Roll a ball, reach and tap. Roll a ball, reach and tap.
Throwing the ball over your shoulder.
Nice and slow. Roll, tap, flick.
Hi.
Show your face!
Hi. Thanks for being so friendly.
He is a sweet dude. I say hi, Fritz. Your brother got to.
Hi. What's your name?
Fritz.
Nice to meet you. I'm Karen.
Good. Relaxing that roll. Reach, tap.
When someone introduces me, say hi, Karen. Hi, Karen.
Good. Keep a rounding in the chest. Belly drawing to spine. All of our basic postural elements are still at play. And keep going. Good, Ian. Really playing with the weight of the drop, Ian. So from here, roll. There's a weight to this. Reach. Roll, reach. Gather. There's the 5-8. Let's do 10 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby the squirt gun. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake that out for a moment. Any questions on those? Hi. All right, next up. Oh, he got me. He has amazing aim for a 1-year-old. All right, let me angle the camera down a little so you can see my feet. There are my feet. So the stance is about 45 degrees in the front foot, very slight turnout on that back foot. They're not in parallel. It's a bit more of an angle at front than back. I want shoulder width between the hips. Belly draws the spine, chest concaves, and here, reaching and dropping. So the hands come up over my ears, right over the apex of my ear, and as it sinks, the other hand comes to the hip, reach and sink, reach and sink. Notice how my hands are slicing down the same line. I'm not cutting to the sides here. I am slicing my center line every time I come through. For these first few movements, instead of working on speed, I want everyone to play with the form of the reach. As the hand goes over the ear, it lifts over the ear. That raises that low hand a little bit so it clears the hip. Reach, reach. The drop of the arm helps to raise the other. Playing with that. A little more draw to the belly, Ian. Round the chest a little more, Caro. Make sure both hands are reaching evenly, Eric. Try to keep the elbows a little more in, Karen. And Chris, that's looking really nice. Of the elbows, see how they graze the body on each cycle. They can wing out a little as I lift, but as they cross the body and come up, they touch the torso and then wing out a little. Let's try to do 1 more minute on this side. Take breaks if you need to. Maintaining that body concavity. 30 more seconds. All the way behind the ears on each cycle. 10 seconds. Relax. Shake that out. Any questions? So that is called Young Wolf Digging. It is from the SanHuangPaoChuiQuan system, and it's an awesome shoulder opener.
Joey, I have a quick question. With the digging,
Yeah.
do we want to incorporate the hip rolling or no?
Eventually, yes, but for right now, just focusing on the coordination of the arms is a. So really quick to ask that question. When we get into the hip rolling, you see how there's a little bit of an internal rotation there? And that's fine, but there's so much happening with the arms. I want to make sure the arms and the alignment's there first. Hips can come in second. All right, cool. Let's do the other side. So again, front foot's at that 45-degree angle. Back foot is slightly more straight. That shoulder width distance between the two hips, drawing the belly in towards the back, concaving the chest. First couple movements nice and slow. Raise to drop, raise to drop.
Is this to clear someone's hand off of your head?
It can be to clear the hand off their head, but a lot of times in Pao Chui sparring, there's strikes that roll over the head because you can get your hand in their face there, blocking their field of vision. They strike through. The hand comes up top. You change the angle as you roll in, and so it kind of hides the arm as it rolls out and through.
And they're not blocking up above as well as they are straight on.
Right, so that full body clear. Real quick segue. This is an important point. In the martial arts in Beijing, I've seen where people actually fight, like not just the dancers. The dancers are great, but the actual combative arts, they rarely ever block to a point, right? It's not like the hands coming in and they block. They clear their whole body because they're not sure how the hand's going to change angles as it comes in towards them. And so Pao Chui and Bagua and combat Taiji, you see a lot of movements that clear the whole swath of the person because that gives you a lot more mobility and shielding than aiming for a point that you might miss. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, great question. So again, from that base stance with the front foot in at 45, back foot a little bit straighter, belly to spine, now working on that front hand up over the apex of that ear and forward. Again, we're going nice and slow now, so take your time. Make sure you're scribing that full range of motion, feeling the weight of the arm as you draw it back, and it sinks forward. We want all these movements to be a gravity assist. The gravity does a lot of the work. Our breath and alignment does the rest. A couple more on that side. Can you see the camera? Good, and now, nice and slow, let's bring in both arms, okay? Playing with that timing, the drop of one is the raise of the other. Once that timing is feeling good, Then adding in our postural elements of grabbing the ground, belly drawing to the spine, head neck raising, slight concaving of the chest. If that messes up your arm cadence, go ahead and step back a little bit, work on the arms for a minute, and then bring in those elements as you feel more comfy with the movement. From here, let gravity take over a little. The weight of the arm carries the other arm up. So we're not adding in more force. I'm just letting the arm drop, which raises the other. This is easier to feel if the belly's drawn to the spine and the chest is slightly concaved. Hand slicing at the center line. Good, keep playing with that for a moment. Good, elbows grazing the body as they come back, winging out a little as you reach. Graze the body to wing, graze to wing. Keeping things as focused on that center as we can. Very nice, Ian, working on that belly draw to the spine a little bit. Caro, making sure both arms stretch evenly. Very good, Eric. Make sure the hands come behind the ears, Eric. Good. Good, Karen, making sure the elbows graze body as they draw back. It's coming along nicely. Very nice, Chris. Okay, let's do a minute. And again, if you want to make it faster, I'm not throwing from my shoulders, right? That looks kind of clunky and off balance. I'm just moving from my middle. If I want to add in a little bit of the hip circles, I can, but not at the expense of the overall movement quality. So again, I want to make sure things are nice and smooth first before I add in anything else. Okay, arms first, then grab with the feet, then draw the belly, then raise the head neck, finally concaving the chest. If that's all feeling good, then I can add in some movement with the base. Up behind the ears and reach. 10 more seconds. And relax. Shake that out for a moment. Hey, Ian, was it 5 minutes that Wong had us do that in Beijing straight? Yeah? Not great. Not great. Any questions on wolf digging before we get into reverse digging and then finally fist coordination? All right, maybe a quick sip of water. We'll carry on. My daughter stole my water. 1 second. They're so sneaky. Okay. So in wolf digging, there's that raise to drop. In reverse digging, we're drawing up and in. In a lot of ways, this is a more simplistic version of ball rolling, okay? But what makes it more simple is the hands aren't rotating with the forearms. We're simply digging and drawing up. And then the palm of the hand faces towards that middle of the body as it rolls down. All right? So changing legs to our first leg side again. Remember, front foot's at 45, back foot's a little more in a straight line, belly draws to back, chest concaves, rolling up. What I want to make sure I'm working on here is even extension between the two sides. It's really easy to let front side lead the show and end up with something like this. What we want is to play with that spinal twist and that abdominal work every time we cycle through. Reach to lift, reach to lift. What helped me a lot when I was learning was giving twice as much attention to the back arm as the front arm, because after a few revolutions, the front arm's kind of good to go, and the back arm tends to get lost. And again, as one hand sinks, the counterbalance movement is the raise of the other. So we're still letting gravity help us out here, because why not? It's free once we earn it. Good, starting off nice and light, playing with the weight of the arms, Drawing in those basic postural elements, foot grab, belly draw, head raise, and chest concaving. Keeping some space in the armpits. See how the elbows can flare out a little more here? Rounding that space up and in. Good, keep going. Excellent, even reaching on both sides. Even hip pull on both sides. Chris, let the arms reach a little more so they affect the hips a bit more. Slow it down a little. There you go, feel the whole body. That's great, that's great. Good, Karen. Hips and shoulders working together. Very nice, Ian and Caro and Eric. All right, let's do our minute. So now, coming back to that middle, that movement in the middle powers everything in the legs and arms. The more we use that middle, the faster the arms can become. But don't go for speed at the sacrifice of quality. Making sure there's still that even rise and drop, still engaged with those postural elements. The back arm is still the most focused. And 15 more seconds. Good. Changing sides. Starting with the feet, 45-degree front foot, a little more in line back foot, then belly, chest, feet grab. Nice and slow. Playing with the roll on the other side. As we begin, trying to take note of what feels different this side versus the last. And as you move through, trying to bring those two sides into balance, both working evenly. First couple of nice and slow, work on an even arc. From there, letting gravity assist with the dropping arm. Making sure that back arm is as engaged as the front. Keep playing with that for a moment. Good, umbilicus drawing towards the spine. Pushing the heel of that back foot into the ground. So by that I mean, I'm not letting this back foot come up. I want that strong base. I want to be pushing into the ground so it's easier for my body to function inside those parameters. If my feet aren't pressing and grabbing, I get a lot more movement because my base isn't structured. I want this to be almost like an elastic structure, whereas I move one way, the recoil pulls me in the other. Good, and let's do our minute. Keeping space in those armpits, maintaining that posture. Still feeling the weight of those arms. Concaving your chests. Ten seconds. And relax. Okay, any questions on those? Chris? Okay, cool. All right. Lastly on our list, quick sip. Raising and falling fists. The hand position is a loose fist. The movement, let's start with squared hips, is just one hand raises, one hand falls. Okay? The arm that raises stretches out the shoulder just a little. The arm that falls rests on the thigh. You can cycle which hand passes in front. Good. Working with that for just a second. Excellent. Next phase of this, I step on a 45 degree, but in this one, both feet are parallel, okay? I'm gonna sink into that stance and turn my torso just a little towards all of you. There's a little bit of a twist to the side. As I draw forward, I weight on the front foot. As I draw back, I weight on the back foot. Forward, back, forward, back. The weighted leg has the raised arm. As I bend the knee is passing right over the first two toes. It's not going to the side, it's tracking in line with the body. So there's a little bit of a turn in on each knee. Keep playing with this for a moment. Good, make sure the fists pass each other. Opening the shoulders, and let's do a minute. As you get more comfortable, you can put a little bit more breath and power into that raising arm. And 20 more seconds. Good, relax that side. Any questions for the other side? Cool. Okay, switching lead feet. Still in parallel, still at roughly a 45 as the chest and torso turn towards the camera, raising and dropping arms. Go nice and slow for the first few. Work on opening the shoulders as the arms raise up. Good, keep playing with that. Very nice, Chris. Good, Karen. The arm's looking great. Work a bit more with that umbilical draw to the back. The rest of the structure is looking really good. Very nice, Eric. Good stretch to the neck. Very good, both Caro and Ian. From here, let's do our minute. If you can increase the speed without sacrificing your posture, go for it. If you want to keep working on the structure and the posture today, that's entirely fine too. Maintaining those postural elements, belly to spine, head, neck raise. 15 more seconds. Good, and relax. Okay, shake that out for a second and get some water. Any questions? That's some fun, basic stuff from the PaoChui system. If you all enjoy that, I'll start incorporating a bit more into the morning workouts. Sweet. Okay, does everyone have like 5 minutes left to do some standing? Yeah, awesome, awesome. And again, sorry for starting a bit late. It was the first day of the new class and there were some slight technical glitches as we move forward. We'll have ironed out by next week.
It's fine.
Okay, let's do some holding pose to finish up. Feet at about shoulder width. You want the outside of the feet parallel, so there's a slight turning in of the toes. As I sink down, I grab gently with the feet, belly draws to the spine. And as I draw down, the arms raise, but they raise heavy. If I oscillate them a little bit, I can feel those paraspinal muscles moving in sync with the arms, helping to support them as they lift. So again, as I concave that chest and find that hollow where the pectoralis minor inserts, the back takes the place of the shoulder and helps me to raise and control my arms. Okay? Again, standing, feet in parallel, belly draws to spine as we sink, the arms raise. It feels kind of like a suspension bridge as the back very gently draws down. Paying attention to the quad. The quad is that inguinal groove on the inside of each of your legs, drawing the body into that space as we sink and hold. Fingertips gently reach across for each other. Continue holding. You know, the arms come a little more in, so you can play with that knitting of the clavicles. There you go. So they draw in from here, not from there. And that will give you a bit more of that rounding of the back, rounding of the chest, and make it easier for you to feel the weight of the arms in your deeper axial structures. Good, Caro. Keep playing with the weight of those elbows, Caro. Make sure that the body is balanced and not leaning back to support the arms. And make sure that all of this is drawing up and in and projecting forward for the hold. There you go. Good, Eric. Constantly raising that head, neck. A little more splitting the fingers. The arms expand a little so you can feel the weight of that space. Good, heavy elbows. The inner legs are also alive. I'm not drawing the knees together here, but there's a slight drawing up and in, again, to that inguinal groove. So drawing into that space and then lifting up and out to give support to the whole body. Gently coming up as the arms sink. Let the weight pour cross body into the other hip, drawing from that inguinal groove to the shoulder as we step. Right hand over the left for more masculine yang energy. Left hand over the right for more feminine yin energy. 3 slow circles. Changing direction. Turning that dantian. The whole belly rolls. Exhaling as the arms gently fall into the ground. Okay, that's the time we have for today. Any questions before we call it?